Welcome to the Lebanon Leprechaun Show. A busy time for the Leprechauns. We'll talk about it. I'm Dave Peach, and we have two players today. We have Chris Brand and Joe Rush. We'll also talk to our hype man, Corey Kuntz, and that will be exciting to talk to him because he really gets the crowd going for games at the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse. And again, it is Lebanon. They're going to be on the road tonight taking on Toledo. So again, they've got 4 games in 5 days. We are joined by Chris Brand. Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Early morning, long trip, but doing pretty good.
As we tape this, they are getting set to get on a bus to go to Toledo. And Chris, right off the bat, let's talk about this game against Glass City Wranglers. The first game was a tough one. You know, you put it out of your mind, you're 12-2 right now, but I'm sure now you're kind of thinking about that game where they won on the shot at the buzzer early in the season.
Yeah, for me, I've been thinking about that game since it was over, honestly. I've been waiting to play them again because it is heartbreaking losing a game like that, knowing that we should have won. We was up by, like 15-20 at one point. So it was a tough loss, but I feel like we needed that loss. And since then, we have had a lot of close games that we closed out in better ways.
We will thank the sponsor of the Lebanon Leprechaun Show, FTIC, a stamping and robotic welding manufacturer located in Jamestown, Indiana. FTIC is dedicated to being active and engaged in Jamestown and all of Boone County. Find out more at FTICNA.com. Chris, Starkville, Mississippi. How did the high school basketball career go there?
It went great, honestly. No state championships, unfortunately, but I only lost 4 games in my 4 years there. So it was a great years, just a lot of disappointing endings.
I can imagine you were the tallest player on the team. That's probably something you have to deal with, yeah. Being 6'10", and then on to Alcorn State. Talk about your college career.
Well, I started off in junior college at East Mississippi. I know a lot of people probably know that from the show Last Chance U for football.
Oh, the football, yeah.
Yeah, but I went for basketball, and we started it was a bad program, but a lot of me and a lot of the surrounding area players went there, and we ended up going to the Sweet 16 in the JUCO National Championship, and I got hurt, broke my ankle, so I didn't get to play the last game. And then my second year, I went to Western Texas College, pretty decent program out in Snyder, Texas. And I got a lot of good looks, and again, I got hurt again, so I ended up going to Alcorn, which was a blessing in disguise. So I got to play a lot of good big teams, Kent State, West Virginia, Texas A&M. Got my name out there pretty good, and I think I had a pretty good career there and got to go play overseas and live my dream.
Overseas, Mexico, Indonesia, Bolivia, Spain, Mongolia, Paraguay, and Chile. How many years did you play overseas?
It was 10 total.
Years.
And I got to see the world. I could have went back to a couple of those teams, but I wanted to just see the world and see different cultures. I ended up playing the last 4 years of my overseas basketball in Mexico because I was so well liked there, and I didn't really need an agent no more. So it was just, I basically lived there for like 2 years without coming back to the States. So it was a great experience, great basketball. Just got to do stuff nobody in my family had.
Played on 2 championship teams in the TBL with the Potawatomi Fire in 23 and 24. How was that?
It was great. The first year reminds me of the team that we got right now a lot.
Right on.
From just coming together and, being gritty. I feel like the team we got now is actually better than both teams where I won a championship on, and I feel like we're coming together in a great time of the season where we can make a good championship push.
Right now, Lebanon 12-2, second in the Midwest Division, starting a 4-game stretch in 5 days, and you're playing number 1, number 3, and number 4 in the division, including the game on Sunday against St. Louis. Take us through tonight at Glass City, tomorrow home against Lake County, Friday at Kokomo. You got to go back there again, a team that you defeated last week, and then Sunday against St. Louis. How do you approach this? Obviously, one game at a time, but you got to recover. You got to kind of have a plan to stay ready for all these games.
Yeah, I think our roster is built for it because we have actually after the the Columbus game, one of the players came over. He was like, "How y'all got 12 starters that can go and start from any team?" And I think our roster is built for it. Everybody gonna be able to come in and produce and take the weight off other players because we are gonna have to get some type of rest in our games. But we can't take any game lightly. Like you said, one day at a time, one game at a time, and everybody come in and just play their part.
As I look at you with the Lebanon Leprechauns this season, you're a veteran. Mm-hmm. You have played on championship teams. We could say you're a coach on the floor. You're an influence on these younger players, and that would be enough. But the fact that you come in and contribute in so many different ways, including a game recently when you had 5 steals, a 6'10" post player getting 5 steals and several assists and all of that. What's your mindset coming in as a veteran player to again influence this team?
Just play my role, and I don't need to be a scorer. I don't need to get all the rebounds. I don't need to get all the steals. I don't need to get all the assists. Just whatever we need in that time, whenever we need in that second, that's what I try to do. I try to be vocal. I try to give everybody motivation. Sometimes I be a little hard on somebody, but it's all right. It's just motivation at the end of the day. I want everybody to be successful. And my goal for the end of the season is to try to help everybody get where they want to be, either it's overseas or whatever, because I do have a lot of connections and I talk to a lot of the guys, and I just want everybody to be successful and live their dream the best way they can.
As a player who has been to so many places around the world, championships in the TBL, D1, college, how is it being in Lebanon, Indiana, playing basketball in 2026?
I mean, I feel like everything that I've been through have gotten me here. I used to look at a lot of my failures as what they are, failures, but I feel like they was blessings in disguise to get me places. Because one of my failures, like one of my injuries, ended me in Indiana the first time to meet Coach Benson, and that was a real blessing in disguise because I can call on him for anything, even if it's just advice or just to talk. But I feel like everything that I have been through in my life ended me here in this place to be able to give out the knowledge that I can give out and to hopefully further my career into coaching or whatever it is after this.
You're going to stay in basketball?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Very good. Now, what do you like to do off the court?
I play video games. I enjoy my kids. I have 2 sons, and just enjoy my wife. And we go eat, we go do different things, like just go see the city. We just moved to Illinois from Alaska, which is a big culture shock.
Alaska?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a huge culture shock from being in our own little oasis to having our neighbors like right there. So it's a big change, but hey, it's a great feeling.
Man, I think we could go an hour with Chris. I mean, we got Alaska, we got 10 countries, we got 10 years overseas playing basketball, and now here in Lebanon. And I'm going to nail you. I'm going to ask you this one. Compare, and you talked a little bit about it, but is the Lebanon team that we have this year built? I mean, we know it's built for a championship. How is it? What do you see as far as championship caliber on this team?
I see our starting 5 as a great starting 5 to boost us off. Sometimes we start off slow, but everybody gets it together. Then we have players like Joe coming off the bench that gives the same as the starter at the one other 2 position, whoever we come off in. And then we have Joe Mel, we have Kayvon, we have like the players on our team complement each other so good to where when one come off, another one come on and it can do the same or a little bit better than the person who they're replacing. And we got so many different lineups that we can put in different situations that we can find ways to win whenever we need to. So whatever we need, we got it. It's just the fact of us playing together and coming together and being together.
Well, Chris, it's great to see you on the court. It's great to have you with your experience and, as you play for us and contribute and look forward to what you do as far as coaching or whatever you do in basketball following your playing career. But let's get a championship this year.
Yes, sir. I need another one. Need to add to my ring collection and, cut down the nets one more time.
Again, you'll see Chris tonight on TBL TV if you're watching it on a Wednesday, and then we're home on Thursday against Lake County, and we're home again on Sunday against St. Louis. Chris, great to see you here today.
No problem. Thank you.
Chris Brand, Starkville, Mississippi, with the Lebanon Leprechauns. This is the Lebanon Leprechaun Show. And again, we thank WBTV, and we'll have Joe Rush coming up. Lebanon Leprechaun Show presented by FTIC in Jamestown. And with us right now is Joe Rush, a combo guard from Indianapolis. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
We're doing fine. And Joe, you're part of that. We talked about the championships that Chris Brand, the championship teams he played on at Potawatomi. Now, you're part of this Warren Central State Championship team in 2018, and you've got some teammates on this team. And something coming into the year we talked about what was the championship mentality of the players before we even played a game. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so pretty much the mentality to have for a championship, you just gotta have grit. And that's what I feel like this team right here got. We got grit. There's no way you can count us out on any given night. Even if we down 15, 20 points, it's still a chance that we'll come back because we can make that push and stack stops and just buy in and mold together for real. So that's what I see on this team.
You talk about gritty. The game against Kokomo, you led pretty much the whole way, but it got. I think they took the lead maybe in the third quarter, but then. You took the lead and really controlled the fourth quarter in that game against Kokomo, at Kokomo. It's a tough one.
It's definitely tough. But all in all, we just had to basketball is a game of runs. So, if you play basketball long enough, anybody can make a run depending on how big, how small. It might be a small run. And Kokomo's, I think, it was a decent run. But as long as we controlled the game and went out there and did what we had to do, like I said, we stack stops. So if we just lock in on defense, because I feel like we were letting them score too easy. So if we lock in on defense and stack stops, we would be a dangerous team.
We'll go to your high school career. Warren Central, 32-0. You had 8 points in the championship game against Carmel. Mm-hmm. And that basketball team, that must have been special to win every game to go 32-0.
That game was pretty special. That team was pretty special. Just the whole year, honestly, I wish we had it on documentary because I feel like it's one for the history books, So I feel like that team should have got a real documentary. And it would have been quite pleasant for sure because that team, we had a lot of ups and downs. Even though we stuck together and molded, we had some ups and downs. I want to say our first game, not our first game, but our first big game, it was against Ben Davis. They were ranked number 1 at the time. I think we were number 4. And a couple players got kicked out the practice before, so we couldn't start or we couldn't get our normal minutes. So, and it was on silent night too. So that coach had to start some other guys, and of course he was just making an example. How it go. But he started some other guys, and it was on silent night, and I want to say it was probably 10-6. And the crowd erupts whenever the home team gets 10. Mm-hmm. And I want to say we came in, we scored, we got a free throw. It was me, Dean, and David coming off the bench. And I want to say Dean Tate got a steal with probably 4 seconds left, and as soon as he caught the steal, he just pulled up for the 3. And I promise it was like a slow motion game-winning buzzer beater, and like he hit it, and then the crowd just went crazy. But it was only .10. But that right there just let me know like how it was gonna be like the whole year. And that crowd was, man, it was packed. A lot of our games was packed. But that was a fun time, man. I wish I could go back. I replay it all the time in my head.
Championships are forever.
Yeah, they are.
They are. They
Definitely
are.
are.
You were also a defensive back on the Warren Central football team, leading the team in leading the state in interceptions.
Yeah.
And you talked a little bit about that coming into the interview. You could have potentially played some college football.
Yeah, I could have. Honestly, I wish I did because I be straddling the fence because I really love like basketball and football. Them are like top 2. Like, and it's, everybody asks like, oh, which one you love more? Like, I tell them like it's not no which one I love more. Like, if I'm playing football, I'm missing basketball. If I'm playing basketball, I'm missing football a lot. But I stay up to date on both, so that's why I get my adrenaline rush.
Last year you played for Logansport. This year, Lebanon. A couple of years in the TBL. What drew you to the TBL?
Honestly, just like an opportunity. Like, I knew it was like an up-and-coming league for the states, and like, you know, most people don't want to go overseas or don't even get the chance to go overseas, and I feel like this is a good opportunity. They pay, you know, and it's still professional basketball, so that's what like made me want to keep chasing my dream, you know, of being a professional athlete, and I did that. So
How is it having a teammate from high school on the team?
it's very good. Me and him talked about it a lot because honestly, I want to say last year or coming into, was it last year? Maybe last year, yeah. Last year, I was gonna go out and play with him at Great Falls, but that ended up not happening. But
Now you're back with Antoine. He's scoring, and
yeah,
he is the. I think he might be the stat stuffer of all stat stuffers. I mean,
yeah,
he can fill every category.
Yeah, he do. His look, man, small guy, but man, he impacts the game a lot. He impacts the game a lot.
You're coming off the bench, and how do we have so many players, and we've heard it from the Columbus Wizards and others, how is it that this team can have essentially a second starting 5 on the bench?
We just got a group of talented guys. Like, everybody's talented in their own way. Like, you know, you may get this from one player, and he may come, and the next player may come with, be a 3-and-D wing. You know what I'm saying? I really pretty much think that our height really like tells it. Like, I want to say me and Kush and Anthony is probably like the smallest, but like the height really like differs for sure, and that's where we, you know, take heed. Our height for sure.
Well, it has been phenomenal to watch. 12-2. How do you look at this stretch of 4 games in 5 days?
We just got to come be ready to play. Make sure we take care of our bodies, for sure. That's number one. If we don't got our bodies, we ain't got nothing. So we got to take care of our bodies and we just trust each other. That's it, like we've been doing all season.
Well, Joe, again, we thank you for being on the show today. Best for the upcoming stretch of games, and I know we'll talk in the future.
Yes, sir.
That is Joe Rush, again, one of the Lebanon Leprechauns. We're going for the championship this year. And Joe, I tell you what, invite people out to the game on Thursday and the big one against St. Louis on Sunday.
Got a game against Lake County on Thursday at 7 p.m. Be there at B Square. And on Sunday, 5 p.m. And that's gonna be the show right there.
St. Louis,
We
the
need
Griffins.
that number one spot.
It'll be it's kind of, they can't look ahead to that game,
Yeah.
but I know it's one that they're thinking about. So, well, Joe, again, thank you. This is the Lebanon Leprechaun Show. Corey is on the way. Lebanon Leprechaun Show. We are presented by FTIC in Jamestown, and we've got the hype man extraordinaire, Corey Coots. Corey, how are you?
Doing great, Dave.
You're a little calmer than what I normally see you, or how I normally see you.
You know, we've got 4 games coming up here pretty quick. We gotta preserve a little bit and do some work.
You have done this 4 years, hype man. You know, where do you learn how to be a good hype man, hype person?
You just do it. honestly, it all started with the previous team owner said, hey, you know, I went to high school with you and you've been around here for a while. Would you have fun doing this? And I was like, I was at a point in my life where it sounded like something fun to do. And, you know, you get out there and you see the kids smile and you see the fans get engaged, and it's just priceless, honestly. So you do something and it doesn't work, you decide, hey, we're not going to do that part again. We'll shift gears. So that's how you learn it.
Now, if you have not been to a Leprechaun game, every time out is special. We've got, you know, a world-class, the Emerald Spirit dance team. They are fantastic. And then we've got these promotions every, you know, time out when we're not dancing. Let's start with one of them, the mattress game.
The famous mattress race.
The mattress race.
Yes.
How did this come about?
You know, when you start to get into this realm and you kind of get bored with some of the same old stuff, especially the stuff that kind of loses a little bit of a luster over, you know, a few games. So I'm always searching or seeing TikTok videos, different games, those sorts of things. And this one came through and I'm like, you know, I think we can execute this pretty cheap. You know, we've got to be on a budget. The hype guy doesn't get a whole lot, but a lot of fun. So we did it the first game, and it was a hit. So that's one of those that sticks around for a while.
That's exciting. Everybody gets involved in that, and during these, and you have tic-tac-toe, and there's something, I'm doing the game, I'm kind of watching with one eye. There's something with tacos or something, right?
Yes. So it's a food race. Mm-hmm. Obviously, everything tries to tie back into basketball in some way. Mattress race is a little tough to do that. But, you know, the food race is basically volunteer goes out, throws on the food suit. You've got a taco, you've got a cheeseburger, and you've got a hot dog, you know. All American classics, of course, and they got to run down, put the suit on, make a layup before their competitors. So,
and you know all the rules.
Yeah, we generally make them up. You know,
What do they win?
It's various things. Sometimes it's a high five from their favorite hype guy. I mean, that's a pretty popular one. But we also have amazing sponsors that have come through with various little things. So Dairy Queen, Savvy Sliders, Key Car Wash are three of the big ones. So a lot of times they'll get, you know, a free Dairy Queen Blizzard or a $5 gift certificate to Savvy's, some gift certificates to the car wash as well. So sponsors have been huge in participating and making these events so much fun.
And you work hand in hand with Joe LePage, PA person.
Yes, the Joe LePage. He was part of the crew that pulled me in, actually. So he was the PA guy, and you know, I had known him from some other things previously, and he said, yeah, it'd be great to work with you. And it's been awesome over the last 4 years, especially. We just have a really good relationship of you know, just understanding how things are going to flow, being able to go on the fly too. I mean, some things happen in these games where it's, you know, you may have a stoppage of play for 5 minutes and everyone's looking at you to do something with the time. So that flow has been awesome.
And you're always, how can I say, you always have the right apparel. You have a different apparel for each game almost.
Yeah, and there's no superstition in sports at all either. So, you know, some things have been retired. You may see me switch out a few things in the middle of the game, hats most particularly. So I'm a little bit superstitious on the hats. So we'll start out with something, and you know, if we start out flat or we're missing too many shots, or especially those free throws, that hat gets retired, gets put in the back of the bag, and we go to the next one. So you'll see that change up, and then of course Chris takes care of me with some of the uniforms and that sort of thing. So got to make it, you know, look pretty classy. I've got a few uniforms in the collection that make stuff fun too.
I know you've got you're going to invite everybody out to the game April 30th and our game on the 3rd against St. Louis.
Yes.
What do you think about this team?
Boy, I tell you, this team has been a lot of fun. From top to bottom, the great thing about this team is there's 12 individuals that you see on the bench at every game, but there's also a couple individuals that you don't see every game that are helping them through practice and some other things. And these guys really do have that competitive championship nature. And, the challenge that we continue to put in front of them is, a lot of these guys could go from a 7-man or an 8-man or a 9-man and go and start for some of these other TBL teams. But number one, we've built a culture here in Lebanon that is just special. And number two, they understand to win a championship, you got to leave a little bit of yourself on the table, right? So if we all 12 put just a little bit of ourselves in the middle and say this is all in, we're going to make some big things happen. And that's what's been special this year.
We'll see how, you've got 38 teams in the TBL. Awards are awards. There's got to be one coach of the year, one GM of the year, one championship team. But when you look at what John Benson has put together as the GM, I would have to say that he is in the conversation for executive of the year in the TBL.
You would think so. And, I mean, it's putting a quality product on the floor on the front side. So you see a 12-2 team, coming into this week. But it's the stuff that you don't see that is so impactful, from having ourselves completely orchestrated. You show up to stuff on time. You look professional. You win the right way. If you lose the right way too. And that's what really makes an impact at a league like this. And that's why, there's phone calls being made coming in that say, hey, I want to be part of your organization, from really high quality players from various areas. And that's a sign to me that you're doing something right.
Yeah, we got to give kudos to Coach Fagans.
Always.
12-2, I mean,
Yes, 12-2. I think he got best dressed nod.
He
recently,
did.
Right? So
kind of goes with the dark with the green. It was a really good look.
That's been kind of a running joke from day one. We've been trying to get him that best dressed award, so I'm glad that he finally put that in the cabinet, and we'll keep moving forward.
We checked that box now. A little bit about First Farmers Bank and Trust, involved with the Leprechauns, involved with Lebanon, a relatively new office.
Yeah, so my branch opened in June of last year, so been around just under a year. Obviously, my engagement with the Leprechauns has really pushed us all in from a Lebanon perspective, but we're actually based out of Converse, Indiana, have a strong presence in Kokomo, so we actually, as a bank, have a relationship with those Bobcats as well. So it's been fun to have a little bit of banter back and forth. Luckily, we've retained the belt in my branch for all 3 games so far, right?
Yeah,
Two games.
we were 3-0 against Kokomo.
Yeah.
2 at home and 1 on the road.
Yeah.
With 1 coming up on Friday.
Right. So you just got to keep the belt in the branch and we'll be in good shape.
Mild-mannered banker during the week, and then it's the superhero. So hype them up for these games, Corey. I know you're ready to get them going.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a huge weekend. We're going up to Toledo tonight, Wednesday night. Thursday night is a big one. It's going to be Battle of the Banks. So Thursday night, our chamber friends, we're going to have some Boone Baby shirts that we'll be throwing out. Of course, shameless plug there. We've got the First Farmers right on the back of that one. But come out and grab some of those shirts. We'll be throwing those out. That game kicks off at 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. on a Thursday night, not too late. We'll be done and headed home by 9:15. And then, of course, Sunday, big game for us, St. Louis. We're 1-1 against St. Louis. They're arguably above us in the standings. We'll talk about that later. But that's going to be a huge game for us. Sunday, 5 p.m. That's actually going to be a Special Olympics night. So we've got some awesome halftime entertainment for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I want your reaction. St. Louis is 8-1. We're 12-2.
Yeah.
Who is leading in that?
You know what? So, banker, I got the math down. So 8-1, that's definitely only 9 games versus 14 under our belt. So, it's one of those deals. It's, from a percentage perspective, yes, they're ahead, but we'll just take all those questions away and keep winning ball games, especially against those St. Louis Griffins. So.
Well, I know we're kind of in this quiet studio right now, but I won't ask you to hype us right now. But again, we'll see you tomorrow night hyping. We'll see you Sunday hyping. And, I'll let you weigh in on this. It is just so cool to see someone who enjoys what they're doing.
Yeah, it's, what, I do it for the fans. This is a community asset, and that's something that the organization has really talked about is, we look out and we have hundreds of fans at each of our home games. We are recognized on the street. Now, you just heard from Chris Brand, when you're 6'10", walking down the street, it's kind of hard to not recognize, right? But I'm a relatively normal guy, and to see the kids come up and say, hey, I know you, and smile and give you a high five, that's really what it's about. And having that impact and having those smiles, it makes anything worth it. It really does. So it's a lot of fun. If you haven't been out to a game, I challenge you to come out. If you need help with tickets, get a hold of us. We'll do the best we can for you. But it's really affordable. You're talking $10 for kids, $15 for adults. It's a super fun evening, and can't wait to see you there.
We will see you there again, April 30th, the home game at 7 o'clock, and as Corey mentioned, the big one against St. Louis at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Corey, great to have you on the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate you.
The hype man, again, Corey Coots, First Farmers Bank and Trust, his 4th year with the Leprechauns. And we want to thank Matt Foxworthy, the person behind the camera. And again, a big thank you to Joe Rush and Chris Brand, and our sponsor of the show, FTIC in Jamestown, Indiana. Find out more at fticna.com. That's the Lebanon Leprechaun Show for today. I'm Dave Peach. We'll see you at the games.